Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, let's take a look at this 2021 Ford Explorer Timberline. The Timberline edition of the Ford Explorer is an off-road ready package, as you can see here, and it not only gives you some off-road aesthetics, but it also does give you some off-road capability. What I mean by that is that this vehicle does get a little bit of higher ground clearance. It does get some very nice beefy wheels, a very nice Timberline specific interior, and of course, as you can see, you have some very nice orange accenting in the front as well as in the back. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group, for allowing me to film this vehicle today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. First and foremost, as you can see, this vehicle does come with a couple of things here on the key fob, and includes buttons such as your unlock, lock, your trunk release, your remote start, your trunk release, and your panic alarm. To remote start the vehicle, just make sure the vehicle is locked, and double click the remote start button twice, and the vehicle will turn right on. After waiting a few seconds, double click the button again, and it will shut right back off. Starting off in the front here, as you can see, you have a very nice Timberline specific grille with your Ford emblem front and center, as you can see there. You also have your front-facing camera, which is a part of a safety feature, which is standard on this vehicle. But as we pan out a little bit, as you can see, you do have that Timberline graphic there, which looks really cool, and that orange finish right down here, which looks really cool, as well as your orange tow hooks as well. You do get LED daytime running lights with projector headlamps here, as well as standard fog lamps. As you can see, this Timberline trim level does come with a set of Bridgestone Dueler all-terrain tires, and these, I believe, are 18-inch wheels, if I can find the wheel size here. These are 265 R18s all the way around. Coming up to the door handle, with all four vehicles, such as this one, it does come standard with a smart key access system, allowing for easier access to both the interior as well as to get outside of the interior. So as long as you have the key fob in your pocket, just come up to the door handle. There's a touch sensor right here. Put your hand in, and the vehicle will indicate unlocking for you to jump right into the vehicle. And after waiting a few seconds, if you want to lock the vehicle up, tap right here, and the vehicle will indicate locking. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Carbonized Gray Metallic, with a Timberline specific ebony leather interior with some premium cloth accenting on the seats. Coming up to the door panel here, as you can see, you do have some soft touch material as you would expect on the Timberline trim level, and it does look pretty nice. You have some of the orange stitching coming down here, which looks really cool. And again, a part of that Timberline trim level. You do have some soft touch material where you're going to be resting your arm. You do have an aluminum door handle, your unlock and lock switches. You're going to have controls for your mirrors, as well as which one you're going to adjust. Your child window lock there, as well as your power windows. You also have a little storage area down here for some small items, and an area where you can just put a small cup right over there as well. Now with that smart key access system, this vehicle doesn't need to come with a push button ignition. So as long as you have the key fob, whether it's in your pocket or within the vehicle itself, put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Explorer Timberline does come standard with a fully leather wrapped rack and power steering wheel, which is very nice. You do have some grips right here at 10 and 2, which are very cool. You also have some buttons here on the left as well as on the right sides, as well as some very nice equipped paddle shifters. To the left, you're going to have controls on the top that deal with your adaptive cruise control, your lane departure warning, forward collision warning, and all that. You're going to have your audio controls right down here for your radio. Coming to the right, you're going to have your buttons here for the main menu screen up there. And then, of course, down here is going to be for your hands-free, Bluetooth, and telephone controls. Coming up to the front, as you can see, we are welcomed with 2 main gauges. To the left, you're going to have your tachometer, and to the right, you're going to have your speedometer. Right below that, you're going to have your coolant temperature, gear selector, as well as your fuel range. Coming on top, you're going to have a small digital, or not digital, it is digital. It's going to be a small digital driver information system. And as you can see, we're taking a look at a couple of different things, such as what's showing right now, including your average fuel economy, your compass, your exterior temperature on top, your current odometer reading at the bottom, which, as you can see here, this one has just over 32,000 miles, your speed limit reader, current speed, as well as your miles to empty. But if we use these buttons here, you'll be able to go through a couple of different screens here on this little screen in the middle. So starting things off here, so taking a look, we just talked about fuel economy. You have a tire pressure monitoring system, intelligent 4-wheel drive, as well as our off-road information, as you can see there, such as your pitch and roll and all of that stuff. And as well as what's playing on the radio, whether it's AM radio, AFM radio, or Sirius XM satellite radio. And then if we go to our menu, we're going to have a couple of different things as well, such as your settings, display setup, select screens, audio, navigation, phone, and then back to where we were just before. Coming over here, we're taking a look at a small 8-inch infotainment display, which is pretty nice. And of course, it does give you a good amount of information as well. This is on the older Sync 3 system, but it's the updated version, so it's not really that old, but it does give you a good amount of info that you can go through and check out. So first and foremost, we're taking a look at a split screen setup, or kind of a 1, 2, 3 screen setup. So on one side you have navigation. On the top there you're going to have what's on the which is going to be your source, and down here is going to be for your telephone, which is going to be available via Bluetooth. So let's say we want to check out navigation. You just tap that right there, and it'll send you right to the navigation screen. Although it is small, you do have pinch to zoom capability. Overall details and everything look pretty good, and overall it's quite nice. So in my opinion, it does look pretty awesome, and as you can tell, it is a job well done. Now, as you can see, you can search for destinations here. You have your navigation menu down here. You can zoom in and zoom out here, and then this right here is going to be for your 3D animation, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, your compass and all that is going to be through that button as well. Coming back here, as you can see, we have our little submenus, and that leads us back to our home page, which of course you can see. So audio is going to show what's playing on the radio via your sources. You have your different preset stations. You're going to see if it's on XM radio, what the album is, where the song is from, and what album it is from, which is pretty cool. You can of course change your different stations right up here, which is nice. Coming over here to phone, you can add a phone or connect to a phone that's already paired to the vehicle. We just looked at navigation a minute ago. Coming over to apps, you can connect a device, find mobile apps, or use your SiriusXM travel link. And then coming over to settings, you're going to have things such as your sound, clock, Bluetooth, phone, SiriusXM, driver assistance, vehicle, Ford Pass Connect, general, Wi-Fi, 911 assist, automatic updates, mobile apps, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as display settings, voice control settings, valet mode settings, and navigation settings. So I've gone through this screen before in many Ford videos, but it's always pretty good to kind of let you guys know what settings you can, check out. So for example, let's say I want to go to SiriusXM. You can kind of see what you can change and what you can enable and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool, such as preset pages, set seat category, parental lockout, music and game notifications. You can turn those on or off. Tune start, smart presets, lock channels or skip channels, as well as SiriusXM radio, or SiriusXM information. Let's say we want to go to vehicle settings. It's going to give you information about the vehicle, such as 30-minute max idle. You can turn that on or off, as you can see there. Rear occupant alert, your my key, onboard modern serial number, remote start setup, your wipers, power liftgate, lighting, locks, as well as your door keypad code. Another example would be, let's say I want to go to your general settings, and it's going to give you general things such as units of measurement and stuff like that, you know, temperature units, measurement units, tire pressure units, touch button beep, automatic system updates, sync analytics and diagnostics, about sync, software licenses, as well as a general factory reset to your default settings. And that's pretty much a basic rundown of this infotainment system in the Ford Explorer Timberline. Coming down here below, you're going to have kind of like this brushed aluminum finish here, which is nice, and it kind of gives it a very cool aesthetic vibe in here per se. You do have a dedicated volume knob and tuning knob on the respective sides. You have a hazard button right here. You have a camera button right there, which, as you can see, camera quality is pretty decent, and of course you do have a 360 camera to let you know what's going on around you. You also do have a full screen view and a split screen view as well, which is pretty cool. Your back and fast forward switches there. This vehicle does have your dual zone climate control, so you can adjust your temperature, which in this case, this is way too high, so I'm going to set it down to probably 75 degrees. So as you can see, you have your dual setup here, max airflow, air positioning. Your fan speed is going to be this right here. This is to turn off the system itself, AC and max AC, recycling, rear AC, which is going to be this right here. Your menu, which is going to be for your additional climate controls, which is what this is right there. Rear vents or ventilation, as well as auto AC, which is nice. You also do have heated front and front passenger seating, as well as a heated steering wheel. We can turn that on or off. Coming down below that, you do have this brushed aluminum finish here, which is very classy looking. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and open this up to reveal a few things. So you do have an area where you can put your phone to charge, and you can just lay your phone here where you plug in your device. You have a USB and a USB-C port, and then a traditional outlet right there next to that. And overall, a decent amount of room in here as well. Coming below that, as you can see, you do have your two cup holders here. This vehicle does have a 10-speed automatic transmission. And when you put it into reverse, it does give you a backup camera with guidance lines. And they do adjust as you turn the wheel. And if you're getting close to something, it will make a beep letting you know to say, hey, you might want to stop the vehicle. As you can see, you do have your parking brake right here. Go up to enable, go down to disable. This is going to be for your, not exactly sure what this button is for, but it does have a function. Down here, you're going to have your automatic stop start. You can turn it on or off. Turbo, I believe this is for, not turbo, this is going to be for your tires. And then hill descent control. And this right here is going to be for your different drive modes. So, coming back up to the screen, you're going to have normal mode, eco, sport, tow/haul, slippery, trail, as well as deep snow/sand. Pretty cool stuff. Let's see what this button does. This is going to be for your traction control. So this will turn on and off your traction control, which is nice. Coming over here to your glove box, or glove compartment, I should say. Decent amount of storage space in here, which is not too bad. This is a little tray that comes with it, which is pretty cool. So, as you can see, more than enough room. You have an outlet in there as well. You do have the stitching in here too, which looks really nice. And then coming to the seats, again, this is the Timberline trim, so you are going to get a very nice interior. Overall, I love the leather and I love the orange stitching here. You do have your Timberline logo right there in the shoulder rest, which is really nice. And you do have this premium cloth material coming down the secondary portion. So kind of your lower back to where you're going to rest your bottom. It's really, really nice. And overall, it is very, very supple and comfortable. And of course, this being heated, it's great for when it's cold, not so much when it's warm. But I imagine when it's warm, you get in here, you're going to feel pretty comfortable no matter what. So not too bad. Now, coming over to the glove box, not really dampened, but you do have a good amount of storage space in there as well. You do have your mirror there, controls for your sunroof, as well as for your lights and everything. Sunglasses holder there. You have a little microphone up there. Visor with a mirror and LED lighting. And then come over to the left over here. Controls for your headlights, fog lights, open up the trunk, as well as your gauge dimmer switches. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the Ford Explorer Timberline. Coming into the second row of the Ford Explorer Timberline, as you can see, you have a really, really nice amount of room in here. First and foremost, the thing that you notice is that the materials do follow through, so you not only do you get the leather portion up here, but you continue to get that premium cloth portion down here as well, which is very nice. And of course, this is a 3-row SUV, and this does have a set of captain's chairs, making it easier to get into the third row. Now, you do have a cup holder set right here, which I believe is, well, it's not removable, it's fixed, but you have 2 cup holders here, little storage space right there. You do have 2 seat pockets, one on both sides. You're going to have rear ventilation controls here for fan speed, controls the temperature, fan positioning, heated rear seats. You have a USB-C and a USB port, and a regular 12-volt outlet there, as you can see. And so here's a quick look at the third row, which does not get the Timberline treatment at all. It's just a standard leather seat material in the third row of this vehicle. Timberline badge right there. This one here does come with the Easy Fuel capless fuel filler, making it easy to fill up at the gas station, as well as an illustration of how to do it, of course, using a traditional gas tank. A majority of Ford Explorers do come with LED taillights. This one, though, being a Timberline trim level, you also get LED taillights as well. You have your Explorer badge spelled out right here, Timberline badging down there to the left. You're going to have a very nice kind of rugged look down here, so it's not going to be a body color, it's going to be more of like not necessarily rubberized. Well, it is kind of rubberized, but still it does look pretty good, and it is rugged. And of course, you do have rear parking sensors, and this one has a tow package, which for all Timberline vehicles, they do come standard with a tow package and can tow upwards of 5,300 pounds. Hold on, guys. Open up the tailgate from the inside of the vehicle. You do get an automatic liftgate. Coming inside of the Ford Explorer Timberline, as you can see, plenty of space behind the third row especially, which is actually quite uncommon to see in 3-row SUVs nowadays. But as you can tell, it's actually pretty reasonable, and you're looking at right around 18 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad. Of course, you can fold down these third row seats here, and when you do, you will increase that to right around 46 cubic feet of space, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and actually demonstrate that now. So you just use these straps here, and they will fold down, pull back, and they will fold down. So now you're looking at just over 46 cubic feet of space. And when you fold down those second row seats, you'll be looking at right around 87.8 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad. Now, if the third row seats were still up, you do have a few things back here which are kind of convenience features. You have one cup holder on that side as well as on that side. You also have a little bit of storage on both sides as well, which is not too bad. And you do have some little storage indentation right up there, actually, which is pretty helpful. You do have lighting back here as well, which is pretty nice. Lifting this up here, you get even more space in here, which is pretty helpful as well. And then over here, you get even more space as well, which is pretty cool. So theoretically, if you were to take these two corner pieces out here and take this out as well, or open it up, you'll have more than enough cargo room to put more stuff underneath. And when you're done, use this right here, pull it back up, and do the same thing for this one. Little tap here, pull it right back up. And then when you're done, tap this button here to close the cargo area. Tap this button here to close and lock the cargo area. And it will close automatically as well. Under the hood of the Ford Explorer Timberline, the Timberline trim level came with only one engine option. It's a 2.3-liter turbocharged EcoBoost 4-cylinder. It produces 300 horsepower and 310 pounds-feet of torque. Overall, pretty solid numbers. It's going to be through a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this one is 4-wheel drive. All right, guys, so the Ford Explorer Timberline is actually a pretty decent off-roader to be talked about here. It's kind of surprising because when I thought this was, when I heard this was coming out, I was kind of skeptical about it because, you know, the Explorer is kind of a, you know, everyday daily driver. You know, you can get a XLT to start off with, or now it's going to be called the Active. You can get a Limited, you can get a King Ranch, you get a Platinum. You can now even get the ST as well, which is going to be the more sportier option. But this Timberline here for a few years was actually a pretty decent vehicle, especially because it has off-road capability. It does have the off-road tires for it, has a pretty nice interior, and overall it's pretty good as well. Now, only downside is that I wish this came with the optional not 2.7, the optional 3-liter. But that again is reserved for something like a Limited or a Platinum or even the ST. But needless to say, this, you know, having the 2.3 turbocharged EcoBoost, you'll get, you know, better fuel economy. You're gonna be getting good power and overall a nice ride. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it here for this walk around and tour of this 2021 Ford Explorer Timberline. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.